we were able to establish the physicality against a pretty veteran big team from the get-go. And even though we didn't make shots at the beginning, we stuck with the game plan and trusted what we were doing. And then Alex was an absolute monster on the rim, protecting the rim, changing shots, 3 blocks of steal. Just having the defensive anchor down there. But it was the whole group. Bub setting the tone early. But then it was our pace on offense, just sharing the ball, getting up and down the court. But we stayed with it. And that was the part that was really great about the game. Go ahead, guys.
Talk about Key's individual performance and just these last 2 games and just how he's progressed since just the summer.
I thought he obviously scored, obviously shot the ball really well, but I thought his impact on defense. I think he ended up with 3 blocks himself, 2 steals. His activity guarding a guy that's a lot bigger than him, and obviously the shot making and the playmaking was impressive. But this guy's putting a lot of time. He's growing. Tremendous performance for him.
You talk about guarding a guy bigger than him, also guarded at times Flag, he guarded Davis, he guarded Hardy. What does his defensive versatility allow you guys to do in addition to having Alex as well?
Yeah, it just gives us versatility, that size and length. But I thought a lot of our guys did that tonight. We were able to switch and do some things that be able to keep the ball in front of us, and we kept the pressure on the whole game. And that's what we wanted to do, and we were able to execute that pretty well by our guys tonight.
What is it about him as a defender that at such a young part of his career, he has the ability to play at a high level that he does defensively while in foul trouble, to gain the trust that he has with you to keep him out there?
I think this was something that he started doing last year. We started seeing him make that progress throughout the year. But this guy's an intentional guy. He's gotten bigger and stronger. This goes into the work, that he's put in over the summer. But the mindset is the key for him. He embraces the challenge.
I think you talked about pregame, but it also seems like he's kind of developing into one of the leaders of this group. What have you seen from him in that area?
I think we have a team bunch of that, to be honest. But he does it. Everybody does it in their own unique way. He does it and I think we have most of our rosters like this. We have guys who love to work, and I think there's a shared standard for how we work here and how we go about things. And he's obviously a great example of that, returning, and he kind of sets the tone for us. But we have a lot of guys who do that. That's why this team is a fun group to coach, because they want to put the time in. And Kyshawn's right at the top there for sure.
Corey Kispert played 21 minutes tonight, and starting the game, he was vocal off the bench, even when he wasn't in, yelling at the guys, telling them when to switch, telling them when to pick up a player on defense, or even recognizing a mismatch on offense. How important is it to have a guy like that off the bench?
I think we talked about this pregame with Corey, like the stuff that he brings, the intangibles, but also his leadership. He's another guy who leads by example. How he plays, how he communicates, and he had a big shot late for us in the 4th quarter when we were a little bit struggling to score. But that was a great thing about tonight. It was a total team effort, and I really thought that second unit came in and really changed the game for us. And we have some depth on our team. Played 11. Everybody contributed. That was a good team win. Go ahead, Josh.
Brian, what did you think of Tre Johnson's intensity on defense?
Terrific. I think everybody's was tonight. I thought he was fighting over screens, pressuring the ball. I don't know what they ended up with turnovers, 21. I thought that was a group effort, but I thought his intensity was high.
It seemed like he helped set the tone. A lot of guys set the tone.
Yeah.
But there was one play where he was up on a ball handler, committed a foul, and you were very happy. What did you like with that sequence?
For us, is this, we want to pressure the ball and make teams uncomfortable where they're running their offense. If you're going to get an occasional foul by playing hard when we're not in the bonus, no problem. So that was great. He was pressuring, trying to set the tone for how we were picking up to extend their catches and stuff. But he wasn't the only one. We had a lot of guys do that tonight.
You mentioned the 21 turnovers, but also the 11 steals. I imagine you obviously have the metrics a lot quicker than we would. This would have probably been a very high deflection rate night as well, too, for you all.
Yeah.
What was it about the activity on that end of the floor? And I know you guys focus on picking teams up in a specific area, but what was it that allowed you guys to turn them over and just be as active as you were on defense?
I think it was just the commitment of the whole group to do it. There was no let-off without any part of the game. Even when we weren't making shots early, we continued to guard, and that stuff is contagious. And it was 1 through 11. All the guys who got out there were doing it. We got a turnover on the first possession. Just trying to put as much ball pressure as we can, make them uncomfortable. but we did it for 48 minutes, and that was really the key. Was we were able to keep that pressure on. There was no drop of intensity on either unit.
Kyshawn, what's the most gratifying part about tonight?
To win. First win of the season as a team, on the road too. Nothing better than that.
What was it that you felt like the team as a whole did really well?
I think we started the game well. We imposed our physicality early in the game, which we did not do in Milwaukee. It was kind of a point of emphasis now. And then we just stuck together we had the up and down in the game. We stuck together and finished strong.
Even when the shots weren't falling to start the ball game, you guys seemed like you were still locked in to try to get the defensive game plan underway. What was it that you guys kind of knew the shots would eventually fall?
I just trusting our work, trusting our chemistry. I think we were more focused on the defensive end. Like I said before, we didn't start Milwaukee. We let them do what they wanted to do, and I think we really was focused on that end of the floor defense, which we're doing a pretty good job with. And then our offense just came together and just trusted our work.
And how much of a rhythm did you feel personally on offense?
What'd you say? Sorry.
How much in a rhythm did you feel on offense?
I mean, really good. Started with a nice, easy dunk with a nice pass from Alex. I just kind of eased my way into the game and just had easy ones, and then it got me confident, and I just kept going.
Coach mentioned how, as a team, you guys are dedicated to getting better, stacking habits daily. What is it like to be a part of a team like that?
We get to create what this is going to be for the future, and I think there's no better space to be as a player than that. And I'm just looking forward to stacking those days and just getting better and, earning our respect throughout the league.
Speaking of stacking those days, just talk about how your summer went and how that helped in the development of these last 2 games.
I mean, I was in D.C. most of the summer, went back in May, just working out the whole time over there. So doing 2-a-days, lifting every day, just, stacking them days during the summer and for these type of games and for the future.
What part of your work do you think showed up the most tonight?
A lot of different aspects, I think. Ball handling, bringing up the ball, getting to the paint. And I think my discipline on my three-point shot was pretty good today.
You shot well in Miami. You struggled at times last year. How gratifying is it for the first 2 games of the season to see the shot come back?
Good. At least you're not working for nothing during the whole summer.
Did you guys really want to? Did you guys feel like you had something to prove after the opener?
To ourselves, 100%. Like I said, we really didn't start the game in Milwaukee well. They got too many transition buckets, and we felt like we were far, but at the same time it was like just with little adjustments we could have had that game. So we made sure we came out with the right mentality in this game and right intensity, and just executed down the stretch.
How much did this mean to this team to get this win?
It just means a lot, the same as the Milwaukee game if we would have won that one. It's just win the next game, that's all we're thinking about.
And how happy are you for the team as a whole, considering that pretty much everybody had a contribution that helped enable this win?
I feel like that's how all the games have to be. Everybody chipping in, everybody doing their job, playing our role to the fullest, I guess.
The defensive mindset tonight, you guys have consistently talked about since the Milwaukee game, that start, and you guys needed to start out better. The shots weren't falling, but you could see that the defense was where it needed to be. How much of that over the last 48 hours was the coaching staff just reiterating the habits you guys have been building?
It was a lot. Even during shoot-around, we stayed in here before we got on the court for a little extra minutes for BK to talk about it for sure. And I feel like it started with Bub. He came out, first play of the game, getting over screens, fighting over, physical. That's exactly what we talked about at shoot-around, exactly what we talked about before going out there, and it started with him.
The physicality is also something BK has talked about with you guys. Sometimes size may not be on your guys' side, but you can bring the physicality first and hit that first punch. How much of an impact was that tonight?
It was huge. It was huge. We know we could push some guys around and they'll settle off their spots, and we came out and did that, starting with Kyshawn, too, on the same play. So it was just coming out being physical, and it started with the first group.
I know it's an ongoing conversation of you playing tonight in this city, but how much of your hometown do you carry whenever you step out on the court?
I carry a lot. Just knowing where I'm from, trying to represent. Sure.
Not just speaking of your hometown, there was a decent amount of burnt orange Texas Tre Johnson jerseys in the stands today. What does it mean to see the impact that you left on this state as well?
It means a lot, for sure. It means a lot. Just great state of Texas playing basketball. And it's just it's weird to see how much you can do in basketball, the connections you can make and stuff like that. So it's just fun seeing all of it.
And then a fun one for you. Anything on your pregame playlist that got you ready for tonight? Anything maybe from the city?
Nah, I ain't listening to nothing from the city. One of my old teammates rap there, go to Oregon, so I listen to some of his songs.
All right, put a song. Who is it?
Devon Pryor.
All right, we're going to check it out.
Appreciate it.
Tre, what did you feel from you defensively tonight? It seemed like you really were very, very disruptive and very, very tough to beat off the dribble.
I just trying to make an impact somehow. I didn't know if the shot was gonna fall or not, but I knew I could still make an impact on defense. It's all about effort and wanting to.